we set?
Give us 1 second. We're going to make sure that the YouTube is live first before we start.
Okay.
We're on.
Okay. It's still 9 o'clock, and I would like to call to order the public hearing to receive public comment on a proposed pilot program for an educational institutional Clipper Pass on Golden Gate Transit Bus and Golden Gate Ferry. Before we begin, please note this meeting is live streamed on YouTube and recorded. Members of the public are encouraged to watch and listen to the meeting on YouTube or by dialing into 415-569-6446, and I'll repeat that in a moment, for the audio of the meeting. If you would like to provide public comment at today's public hearing, and if you have not done so already, please call, again, 415-569-6446, and let the facilitator know. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Starting with Director Arnold is absent. Director Conroy is absent. Director Garbarino is absent. Director Giudice is absent. Director Grosball is absent. Director Hernandez is absent. Director Maston.
Here.
Great. All right. Director Huar.
Present.
I was getting worried there. Director Rabbit.
Here.
Thank you. Director Rodoni.
Present.
Director Snyder.
Here.
Director Stephanie is absent. Director Thier.
Present.
Second Vice President Hill.
Here.
First Vice President Cochran.
Here.
And President Tirio.
That's me.
Thank you. And we also have on the line Dennis Mulligan.
Present.
Joe Wyer's not on the line. Today we have Acting Auditor Controller Jennifer Minucci on the line.
Present.
Thank you. Ava Bauer-Furbish.
Present.
Thank you. Kim Manolius.
Morning.
Morning. Dave Rivera.
Good morning, present.
Great. Bona Babata. I can see she's there, so we're going to come back to her. Thanks a lot. Jim Swindler is not on the line. Kelly Hopper, you on the line?
Yes, good morning.
Thank you. And let's see, who else do we have on? And Ron Downing is here with us as well. He'll be doing the presentation. Hi, Ron.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. And that confirms everyone on the line.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thanks to everybody for joining us this morning. We appreciate your continued patience as we conduct the district's business in this manner. At least you can see us now. As a reminder, if you are not speaking, please mute your devices to minimize the noise on today's call. Madam Secretary, please summarize the public outreach efforts for this public hearing.
Thank you. In compliance with the district policy, public outreach was undertaken as follows. We posted a public hearing notice onto our district website on May 24th. Legal notices were published in the San Francisco Chronicle, the Marin Independent Journal, and Press Democrat on Thursday, June 2nd and Thursday, June 16th. Legal notices were posted on Lavaz's website, referenced in social media posts, and placed on the Lavaz bilingual newspaper web edition for its May-June edition. A press release was posted on the district's website on June 16th and sent to local media also on that same day. Email blasts were sent to customers and posted to Twitter on June 20th. And the staff report was also made available in Spanish as per our district's limited English proficiency plan.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Attorney Kim Manolius does the public outreach described by the district secretary. Meet the district's legal requirements for calling this public hearing?
Yes, it does, President Tirio.
It means we can go ahead. Madam Secretary, has there been any correspondence relative to this proposal?
Yes, we actually received one as of the close of business yesterday, one email comment relative to the topic of this hearing, and Ron Downing will refer to it. Any further comments relative to this public hearing will be presented to the Finance Auditing Committee meeting on July 21st and then forwarded to the full board for action the next day. I want to note that there was a little typo inside the staff report. It referenced Thursday, June 24th as the date. So what we're going to do is we're just going to allow it to go to Friday, June 24th, just so there's no discrepancy in that. Adding an extra day wasn't going to harm us. So we're going to open it and we'll receive public comment till tomorrow, close of business at 4:30 on June 24th.
Thank you again, Madam Secretary. Before going ahead with the public hearing, Director of Planning Ron Downing will give us an overview of the proposal.
Good morning, President Terrio, members of the board. This is an action that we took to the board back in April to set a public hearing. The rules of the board require a public process for establishing a new fare. This would be a new fare under the Clipper program to test a monthly pass that would be directed to specific institutions under the first phase. They've identified 4 educational institutions: UC Berkeley, San Francisco State University, Santa Rosa Junior College, and San Jose State University for a region-wide test of this pass program, as well as 3 affordable housing properties on the Mid-Peninsula. This is the first step in a regional fare integration study that was just completed that will look at better coordination of fares within the transit agencies throughout the Bay Area. So someone would have this, this pass instrument and be able to travel on any transit system throughout the Bay Area to reach any of these educational institutions. This first phase is targeted to start on August 1st. So today's public hearing, if we have any public comments that change our direction of proposing to adopt this fare, they would be incorporated in a final action, as Amaret said, that would go to the board on July 21st and 22nd, anticipating that we would adopt that before the the August 8th start date of the program. This is, like I said, the first phase of the program to test the usage. There would be another phase in 2023 targeted at major employers in major downtown areas such as downtown San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose to look at the utility of an employer-based pass that would allow travel throughout the Bay Area from transit system to transit system. At the outset of the program, there is no cost associated with the pass to the user. It will be an overlay on the district's existing fare structure, and the MTC will make a reimbursement to the district in anticipation of any fare losses that we may have. Students at the identified educational institutions will get the pass at no cost, again, to try to develop some information on how people might use this pass. Further phases will anticipate a monetary value associated with the pass, particularly when it's rolled out in the future phase to major employers. Future anticipation is that there will be a revenue stream associated with this pass so that the district will not be financially harmed by accepting these passes among other transit operators. But that's a future phase to be discussed. Today's action is really to consider public comment related to establishing this new fare within our fare structure.
And that's the end of your presentation, Mr. Downing?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Are there any additional comments by staff?
None.
Okay. Since this public hearing is to receive public comments on the subject matter, our function as a board is to listen. And I ask my colleagues to hold their comments or questions for staff until the matter comes back to us at the Finance and Auditing Committee in July for consideration. Before we begin, Madam Secretary, how many callers do we have on the line today who may be speaking on your public comment?
We have one.
We have one. Would you then outline for that speaker the procedure that we will now follow to receive public comments?
Thank you. For the public speaking, we'd like to ask the speaker to state your name, and if you're representing an organization, state the full name of the organization, and please honor the 3-minute comment period allowed for each speaker. A timer will go off at the end of 3 minutes, but we'll try not to. But what we'll do is we'll have, I'm just going to introduce David to speak. Mr. Pilpul is on the line to speak. And then afterwards, just in case, Justine will pull the public line one more time in the event someone's called while we started the meeting. David, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
We can, loud and clear. Thanks a lot. Go ahead.
Excellent. Good morning, David Pilpel from San Francisco. So yes, I did catch in the staff report one inconsistent date. So I think the public comment deadline, setting that for tomorrow at 4:30 is fine. You should be so lucky to be flooded with hundreds and thousands of public comments. I think that's unlikely. So I refer to the public comments that I made on this item last month at the May 19th Finance Committee meeting. I think it is both useful and important to test new fare instruments from time to time, especially regional fare products, particularly here where MTC is going to cover the entire revenue foregone at the operators. So this is being done at no cost to the district. I think some issues associated with the pilot program include the potential for both use by passengers throughout the region and the potential for abuse, depending on how it's used and whether there's the possibility, as I suggested last month, for someone to share the item, the pass, with someone else who's not the registered user, for use on weekends and trips that were unintended. But perhaps that won't be a big issue. So just identifying that. I think this is another good example of regional transit coordination and recovery efforts. And once again, maybe we don't need SB 917 as a mandate, because operators working together with MTC can develop new fare instruments and actually coordinate our transit systems without a new state mandate. So in summary, I support the pilot program, and I hope that the district gets good data on the use on buses and ferries to inform whether to keep TOS or change the program in the future, and that would also feed into the regional information that's developed about its use, but in particular the ridership data on the district's bus and ferry system, I think will be very helpful in an evaluation report. I would expect at some point in the future to help guide future development of the program. Thank you very much for listening. And again, I support the pilot program.
Thank you, Mr. Pilpel. Ms. Bach, do we have anyone else who's appeared for public comment?
If you'll just allow me to pull the room, that would be great. Can you just give me one moment?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
In the meantime, I'd like to point out, welcome Director Garbarino.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
We have no further speakers this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bach. So the public comment portion of this public hearing is now closed. Madam Secretary, please give us the next steps in this process.
As I mentioned, and as we've referred already, we're going to close this public comment period tomorrow at 4:30, June 24th. And then after that, staff will evaluate the comments received and determine whether or not changes or modifications need to be made to the proposal. Final recommendation that includes a summary of public comments will be received, will be brought to the Finance Auditing Committee at its July 21st meeting, and then forwarded to the full board on July 22nd, the next day. At this time, we anticipate both meetings will still be held virtually on their scheduled meeting dates unless something at the state level changes. So I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. And thanks everyone again for joining us. This concludes the public hearing. We don't need a motion to adjourn or anything. The time is 9:14 a.m. Madam Secretary, you'll take us to the next thing.
Yes, we have on the notice that B&O starts at 9:30, so you have 15 minutes, and this will still be a live link, same link. You can come right back here, but I'm going to cut the live feed, and then if you like to hang out, you can hang out. We can sing karaoke. I'm not sure what, but if not, I'll be back and I'll be here. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, see you in a bit, everybody.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me? It's Jim.
Yep.
Did you get an email from me the other day?
About the printing?